Welcome to Dice Control Dojo. I'm Phil, and I practice every day and share our tips so that we all can do better at the casino. Today, we're talking about lefties versus righties, what the SR123 is, why there's no difference, or there is a difference, and landing zones when you're live at a casino. I'm going to talk a little bit about my buddies and what we do, and hopefully what you do when you go to a casino with a bunch of control throwers. And let's get started. So just for review for people, this spot right here is SR1. R, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then SL1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when I am very fortunate because my three other buddies, we have two left-handers and two right-handers, which makes it very nice for us when we're on at a casino floor. I like to be in the SR1 position, and my other lefty compadre likes to be in SR2. But as we work to get into these slots in SR1 and SL1 and SL2, as we work to get into our slots, we notice that when I'm up to throw, I'm actually practicing a little further out than I am when I'm here. My buddy will step back a little bit so that I can go over to the SR2 position, or it may be a variation of that. So when I'm getting live on the casino floor, I want to practice that. Now, as you're looking at all my videos, and we're talking about the grip and the turn and the placement, I'm left-handed, and that makes people feel uncomfortable. I've had comments about it. It's like, I'm right-handed. Why am I learning from a lefty? There should be no difference. You should be able to do the same stuff that I'm doing. I'm just doing it left-handed versus you're right-handed. So, I'm sorry I can't do a right-handed grip. I'm not right-handed, but I just wanted to put that out there that there should be no difference. You should be able to do it. And sometimes when you're in the community or you're going to seminars and that, a lefty is like a unicorn because there's not too many lefties out there that are throwing. And I like the left-handed side. It seems to be open more on tables, especially if you see other people that are trying to dice control throw, because most of the population's right-handed. So they're going to be on this side of the table trying to throw like this. And it's harder for my two buddies on the SL1 to get their zones than it is for us two to get here. Now you're going to have random throwers that just like to have a stool and sit right here, and that's always a nightmare for us when we see a stool because we know we're never going to get into that position. And fortunately, we've had enough when we play in Vegas or in Atlantic City, we just kind of move from table to table until we find one that we can all fit. And if two or three of us can fit in there, the others will slowly work their way in because people generally don't stay at a table all day. The local casino that I have, the SR1 and the SL1 is occupied all the time by the same two guys. They never move. So if I can get into two, I'm lucky. And unfortunately, they don't seem to care about control throwers because they like to lean on the table and they won't move. You can ask politely, but they don't like to move. They just want to sit there and watch. So you're going to get a lot of people with dice control that don't believe in it. And, we talked about this a lot on videos that it's very controversial. And I'm always like, what do you care how I throw it? As long as I throw quickly and I'm throwing, well, and we're all making money, what do you care what kind of song and dance I do to that? So as a lefty, it seems easier for me to get on a table because a lot of control dice throwers are on the right-hand side. So it's nice when I get in because I can do that. But there's also some other issues that you should be aware of, and that's the landing zone when you're live. Because if a lot of control throwers are coming down, sometimes the pads can be a little worn out on this side of the table, and they're never worn out on my side. So they might be a little bouncier. So you might have to take that in consideration because there's a lot of tables out there that control throwers are not lefty, and random throwers just throw it anywhere on the table. But if you think about it, the people that are on this side that are control throwers are pretty much looking for the same target zone. And that may wear thin. It might cause a little zone there that is either dead, which is great because it dies and they get a good zone, or it is too sharp and it bounces all over the place. So I don't know what the answer is to that, but I just notice a lot of times when I'm throwing in a casino and I'm trying to find a landing zone, it's harder for me to find a dead zone over there because of the lack of lefties that attack the place. So I'm hoping that in the future, when you're coming into it and you're starting to find your buddies that you want to go control throw with, you should be reaching out and seeing, are they left-handed or right-handed? We went to a couple casinos where a lot of control throwers were at, and it was hard to get into SR 1, 2, and 3 because everybody wanted to throw from there. So everybody was polite enough to move off once they did their throws and move around the tables. But in general, everybody wants to throw where they're practicing, right? So that's where you should do. And here's a tip. If you're not finding your zone, your area, and you haven't practiced that area, do all of our control throwers a favor and don't throw from an outside place you haven't practiced from. Or if you are, that's fine, but I'm generally not going to bet on people anyway. But if I did, and I'm seeing a control thrower outside of their normal realm, I may ask them, hey, is that normally where you practice from? And if they say no, I usually do SR1, but it's not available, then I'm probably not going to throw with them or bet with them. So it's really important for me, I think, that you see a lot of people out there that practice at all different angles, all different sides of the table so they can get on a table. But it's kind of like a switch hitter in baseball, right? You're really good lefty, you're batting 340 left-handed, and then a pitcher comes up so they want you to turn around and you're only batting 220 on that side. Why would you do that? If you can bat 3-something, if I can have an SRR of 12 throwing from this position right here, why would I try over there? Or why would I try and practice in different sections that I'm not going to be good at? If you just want to bet lightly and have fun doing it, hey, that's great. But when I'm talking about really control throwing and really getting down to the nitty-gritty, when we're going to be making money, I'm only going to be betting on myself when I'm here, in this zone right here. Or I'm going to bet on my friends when they're in their position. If they're over in the hook, I'm not going to bet on them. They may have fun, they may sit there and do it, but I know they're basically a random thrower, just like everybody else. So unless I know what they're capable of, I'm not going to bet that. So just in review, making sure you're practicing your zones here so you know how deep you need to be. Making sure you understand that landing zones may be different live than they are in your own casino or your own throwing zones because of how they hit. If you're right-handed or left-handed, there may be some holes, there may be some dead zones, and that could be good or bad, so you have to adjust on the fly. And make sure you get some buddies that are left-handed and right-handed so that when you go to the table, you can have fun with all of them instead of sharing the one SL1 all day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Looking for feedback of future videos. What do you want to discuss? Things you want to talk about? We're going to get back to practicing with the beanbag tomorrow, so join me on that. And as always, the best way to make money at a casino is to throw for a long, long time.